Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and for today's video I'm here to do my top 10 British horror movie list, and this is actually a video response to Let's Talk Movies, who last week came up with his top 10 British horror list, and I really enjoyed that video a lot. This has also been a list that I've been wanting to come up with for a while now, so seeing his video definitely motivated me to actually come up with a list. And it wasn't the easiest of lists to come up with because there's been a lot of great British horror films over the years, but I am pretty happy with the list that I have compiled. So before we get into it though, quick shout out for Let's Talk Movies. If you're not subscribed to him already, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Fantastic YouTuber from the UK, does a lot of great videos, has really good tastes not only in horror but movies in general. So I definitely recommend checking him out. And I'll also leave a link to his top 10 British horror movie list in the description box below, so head on over and check him out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to get straight into it now. I do have one quick honourable mention, which we'll get into right now. Okay, so the honourable mention goes to Wakewood. It's an Irish Hammer film and it is really good. It's pretty underrated, which is why I wanted to give it a quick honourable mention. This one has a lot of similarities to Pet Sematary because it's about someone getting resurrected from the dead. And this one's about a family, they're grieving over their loss of the daughter and they end up moving to a village. They get involved with a group that do pagan rituals. And one of the rituals involves the resurrection of their daughter. There's certain rules that they have to follow after the ritual takes place, but they go against them, they break the rules, and there's some pretty bad consequences that follow. So Wakewood, it didn't quite make the top 10, but I think it's definitely worthy of an honourable mention. Okay, so now the official top 10, and coming in at 10th position we have Tormented. And this is a pretty underrated modern slasher flick that I really like a lot. This one is set in a college high school, and it's about a bullied character who ended up killing himself and basically comes back and torments his bullies, the people that bullied him. He ends up tormenting them and they start getting killed off one by one. I really like this a lot. I like the whole ghost kind of concept behind this slasher. I think it works really well, and how the dead person is tormenting the kids from the grave. I really like that. And this one also has some pretty good kills in it as well. So yeah, that's Tormented. Coming in at number 9 we have Shaun of the Dead, and I don't really need to talk too much about this one because it's a bit of a British classic. And yeah, I definitely agree. This is a modern zombie classic. I'm not normally big into comedy horror, but this one just absolutely nails it. Great mix of horror and comedy and zombies, which I like. I like a good zombie film. And yeah, this one is absolutely awesome. So that's Shaun of the Dead. Coming in at number 8 we have The Descent, and this is a really awesome creature feature. I love the underground cave setting. It gives a really claustrophobic, really eerie, creepy vibe to it, and it just works really well. It's pretty simplistic, but absolutely fantastic modern creature features. So that's The Descent. Coming in at number 7 we have Wilderness, and this is one that I don't really hear too many people talk about, which is a shame because I think this is a really well done British slasher movie. And it's kind of different to your traditional slasher because it's kind of got like a kind of survival aspect to the film as well. And you don't really see the killer too much because the killer is kind of hunting their victims and the killer's kind of hiding in camouflage and stuff like that. So it's kind of unique in that aspect as well. But really cool. It's set on a remote island, and this one involves a group of young offenders, and they're basically sent to the island to do a team building exercise, and they start getting killed off one by one. So really awesome concept. This one involves dogs, which again is pretty unique in terms of a slasher, and it also has some really good gore and kills. So that's Wilderness. Coming in at number 6 we have The Monster Club, And this is a great little horror anthology, and again, it's one that I don't really hear too many people ever talk about, but definitely worthy of this list for sure, and it's one of my favourite anthologies of all time. The stories are really, really good, and this one stars Donald Pleasence and Vincent Price. Vincent Price tells the wraparound story, and I love the wraparound story in this. It's all done in a horror sort of gothic themed nightclub, and it's a really, really awesome setting. So yeah, absolutely love this anthology, The Monster Club. And coming in at number 5, we have a classic that I don't really need to talk too much about because I'm sure everyone's seen it, and that is An American Werewolf in London. This is my favourite werewolf film of all time. It's got such an eerie, atmospheric setting and vibe to it. So awesome. I love the characters, and this also has my favourite effects when it comes to a werewolf transformation. Just such a classic werewolf movie, An American Werewolf in London. At number 4 we have Cockneys vs Zombies, and as you can probably tell from the title, yes, this is pretty similar to Shaun of the Dead. It is a zomcom, a zombie comedy horror movie, but I actually enjoy this one a little bit more than Shaun of the Dead. I have more fun with it, and that really all comes down to the characters, and it's kind of unique in that aspect. So this one centres around two brothers. They're planning a bank robbery to save their grandfather's nursing home, and a zombie outbreak happens, so their plans get diverted with that, and they basically end up going to the nursing home to try and rescue the oldies from the zombies. And it's just absolutely hilarious. There's some great funny scenes with the oldies trying to get away from the zombies, and some of the old people at the nursing home are just absolutely kick-ass characters. It's just a ton of fun. It's a really, really awesome take on a zomcom. Really, really awesome film. So that's Cockneys vs Zombies. And coming in at number 3, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and include 2 movies because I do kind of consider them to be one giant film almost, and that's the 28 movies, 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. Out of the 2, I definitely like 28 Days Later a little bit more, but Weeks Later is a fantastic follow-up. These are just absolutely phenomenally done zombie or infected movies for the modern age. Modern classics in my opinion. So this, again, another no-brainer. Definitely had to include these on the list. So that's 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. Coming in at number 2, we have Stitches, and this is one of my favourite slasher films of all time. It's an Irish slasher, and it centres around a teenage birthday party and a killer clown seeking revenge. This one doesn't really have a high body count, but the kills more than make up for it, because the kills in this movie are phenomenal. They are a lot of fun, they're really, really unique and creative, and they are awesome. And pretty graphic, because you see everything. So yeah, this one's a ton of fun. It's a pretty short film, very easy to get through, but one of my favourite modern slashers for sure. That is Stitches. And coming in at number 1, my favourite British horror movie of all time is definitely Eden Lake. This movie is absolutely phenomenal. It's a pretty hard watch. It's extremely brutal, and it has an ending that you are never going to forget. Absolutely amazing stuff. If you haven't seen it, it's centered around a young couple. They're on a weekend trip away together, and they end up getting targeted and stalked by a group of really, really sick, twisted and sadistic teenagers. And yeah, the more they get stalked, the worse things get for this couple. And really, really nasty. There's some really brutal and gory moments throughout this film, including one involving someone getting burnt alive. Yeah, that scene sent chills up my spine. It was very, very hard to stomach. And as I already mentioned, the ending is a real kick in the guts as well. So Eden Lake, absolutely phenomenal British horror movie, and that is why it sits at number 1. Okay, so there you go. That was my top 10 British horror movie list. Let me know what you think of these movies in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Which of these ones would also feature in your top 10 list in terms of British horror? If you guys feel like doing a video response to this, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'd love to see some video responses with you guys showing and talking about your top 10 British horror movies. So definitely get on that if you're interested. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but I know quite a few of you guys live in the UK, so I definitely think this could be a pretty awesome video for you guys to do especially. And I'm sure Let's Talk Movies would also like to see some more responses to this as well. And speaking of that, once again, if you're not subscribed to Let's Talk Movies, his channel link will be left in the description box below. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.